This story dates back to the 8th century BC. It's a story about Jonah, son of Amittai. At this time, Jonah was a prophet to the northern kingdom of Israel. He was a man that heard from God and instructed the people of his day. God spoke to Jonah and said, "Go to the great city of Nineveh and preach against it, because its wickedness has come up before me." Nineveh was the capital city of the Assyrian Empire. The city had over 120,000 people living there, and it was notorious for its corruption and cruelty. Jonah was about 500 miles from Nineveh, and instead of listening to God, Jonah ran away from the Lord and headed for Tarshish, which was over 2,600 miles away. The Ninevites were enemies of Israel, and Jonah wanted no part of this assignment. He left his hometown of Gath-Hepher and traveled about 50 miles south to Joppa and boarded a ship to escape God's call. He went as far as Nineveh in the opposite direction as possible. This strategy didn't work because God knew exactly where Jonah was and sent a great wind on the sea, and such a violent storm arose that the ship threatened to break up. Each sailor prayed to his own God and threw the cargo into the water to lighten the ship. But Jonah had gone below deck, where he lay down and fell asleep. The captain went down to him and asked, "How can you sleep? Get up and call on your God. Maybe he will take notice of us and we will not perish." Then the sailors decided to cast lots to determine who was responsible for this calamity. They cast lots, and the lot fell on Jonah. Jonah replied, "I am a Hebrew and I worship the Lord, the God of heaven who made the seas and the land." He told them how he was running away from the Lord, and it terrified them. The sea was getting rougher and rougher, so they asked, "What should we do to make the sea calm down for us?" Jonah replied, "Pick me up, throw me into the sea, and it will become calm. I know that it is my fault that this great storm has come upon you." After trying to row back to land, they decided to throw Jonah overboard. Immediately, the raging sea grew calm. Then the Lord provided a great fish to swallow Jonah, and Jonah was inside the fish 3 days and 3 nights. From inside the belly of the whale, Jonah prayed. Jonah began to respond to God appropriately. He called on God for help, and God listened. He praised God and recommitted himself by saying, "I, with a song of thanksgiving, will sacrifice to you. What I have vowed, I will make good. Salvation comes from the Lord." Then the Lord commanded the fish, and it vomited Jonah onto dry land. Then God spoke to Jonah a second time and said, "Go to the great city of Nineveh and proclaim to it the message I give you." This time Jonah obeyed the word of the Lord and went to Nineveh. He proclaimed, 40 more days and Nineveh will be overturned." Overwhelmingly, the Ninevites believed God. They declared a fast, and all of them, from the greatest to the least, put on sackcloth. Even the king issued this proclamation: "Do not let any man or beast, herd or flock taste anything. Do not let them eat or drink, but let man and beast be covered with sackcloth. Let everyone call urgently on God. Let them give up their evil ways and their violence. Who knows? God may yet relent and with compassion turn from his fierce anger so that we will not perish." When God saw what they did and how they turned from their evil ways, he had compassion on them and did not bring upon them the destruction he had threatened. This caused Jonah to become greatly displeased and angry. He prayed to the Lord, "O Lord, is this not what I said when I was still at home? This is why I was so quick to flee to Tarshish. I knew that you are a gracious and compassionate God, slow to anger and abounding in love, a God who relents from sending calamity. Now, O Lord, Take away my life, for it is better for me to die than to live." But the Lord replied, "Have you any right to be angry?" Then Jonah went east of the city and made a shelter for himself to watch what would happen to Nineveh. God provided a vine and made it grow up over Jonah's head to provide him shade and ease his discomfort in the intense heat. Jonah was very happy about the vine. The next day, God provided a worm which chewed the vine so that it withered. And when the sun rose, God provided a scorching east wind, and the sun blazed on Jonah's head so that he grew faint. He wanted to die, and he said, "It would be better for me to die than to live." The Lord said, "You have been concerned about this vine, though you did not tend it or make it grow. It sprang up overnight and died overnight. But Nineveh has more than 120,000 people who cannot tell their right hand from their left, and many cattle as well. Should I not be concerned about that great city?"